Ba-dum-bum-bum.
Hello, everybody.
What's going on? We're back.
We
We're
are.
back. And we're doing the usual. We wanted some refreshing, something light, exquisite, to the point. What do we have?
We're having Notorious POG by Stone Brewery.
I always love when breweries do that. Like Hazy E, Hazy Rider. That was fun. Those are fun. Like when they come up with little little names to like a movie or some sort of character. Notorious POGs, Notorious B.I.G. You know, I like it. I really do like it. So what's going on today, man? How was your day?
That was good. How was yours?
Fantastic. I can't complain because if I do, no one's gonna listen to me anyway, so I don't complain at all.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right? So,
I have a similar mentality.
Yeah. That's why I would say great. I living the dream. Living the damn dream.
Yeah, dude.
You know who else is living?
Who?
Aliens. Okay, so I'll be honest with you. So today's been pretty cool. I started watching a documentary. By the way, it's on Netflix. It's the Bob Lazar documentary about the whole.
Bob Lazar.
Bob Lazar. Not the whole Area 51 thing, because he says he didn't work there, but he worked in a close by, I guess, camp or something, or building or so. So, I watched it last Friday, and, I thought it was pretty interesting. I think the guy's got a cool story. We'll get into it a little later. But recently, I've been hearing that people want to go ahead and storm Area 51. So, and I thought it was just shenanigans. I was like, look at these people. But there's really a Fox article that came out that says, and it's all over social media, that there's a Facebook group who's actually petitioning to go out and, I think it's like 530,000 the last count they did, that wants to go and storm Area 51 and shows the aliens, is what they said.
Well, people are crazy. So that doesn't surprise me.
Oh my God!
Because the same thing was happening with the whole, what's that series we're watching?
Chernobyl?
Chernobyl.
Yes.
A bunch of people started going to that place even though it's radioactive. So, I mean, again, people are crazy. Doesn't surprise me.
So what is it that people just do it, and then all of a sudden what gets another person to jump on board, and then a bunch of people jump on board? It's just the whole wanting to be a part of something that you think it leads them to do that, or what is it?
I mean, that's part of it, but I think they already have like a similar mentality, and then they hear someone saying like, "Oh, damn, they want to do it too," so they're like, "All right, let's do it."
Yeah, it's like the flat earthers, Put them up in space. It's so crazy. You probably put them up in space, and they'll see the globe. It's like, nope, it's flat. So, okay, you can't really win against those people. But no, definitely. So, getting back to this. So, I know it's picked up some momentum. It's something we've always fantasized about. It's kind of romanticized about there being something outside of the realm of the world, and aliens, extraterrestrials from the movies like E.T. We've loved that movie, or E.T. right? We just love that movie, the little alien in the basket and he flies. It's just something we've always been, from people making actual business out of it, going to Vegas, Baker Jerky with the little alien and all this stuff. So there's obviously been something there, right? People have been fascinated by it, and I think now with the whole story about Bob Lazar, sorry, I keep messing that up. He American physicist. He's a physicist and has a story. Well, what do you think about that?
Wikipedia says Robert Scott Lazar is an American who has claimed to be a physicist who worked on reverse engineering purported extraterrestrial technology at a site called S4 near the Area 51 Groom Lake operating location. S4 is located several kilometers south of Area 51. So, I mean, they're already, at least Wikipedia is saying claim to be. I don't know too much about them. Again, I saw part of the documentary. I haven't watched the whole thing just because, I think I was falling. I was like ready to go to sleep.
You're right.
But it seemed interesting. Again, I need to finish it. I probably watched like 20 minutes.
Yeah. So the guy has a pretty compelling story, I think. The guy doesn't claim to. I don't think he actually hard says that there is aliens. I think to him, he's convinced that whatever technology that was going on there, or whatever they were working on, was not of this world. Again, his biasly just thinking. Very smart guy. I guess apparently he had a rocket car, a car with a jet engine in it, and he's always kind of been known for that. But it is kind of odd that I know he went to was it Caltech? One of those really smart schools out here in California. Um, but apparently he's gone there, and all the records are gone. There's not even records of him working at the S4 facility? S4 facility, yeah. So crazy, but obviously he definitely knows, and his story hasn't been really deviated in the last 30 years since he started talking. So something's there. Who knows, right? But I think you bring up a pretty good point about how a lot of the stuff that we just really don't know, and how it's been classified, and why only the government knows about this, right? The government. Like, why would they be the only people that know about aliens, right?
Well, first of all, what do you think about the whole alien
Okay, so
thing?
you guys want my honest opinion? I'm a little crazy, I'm a little kooky, and yes, I love to fantasize about things, romanticize things, but I do believe that there's probably something out there. Now, is it a little green guy walking around or something like that? I don't know. That I do not know. But as far as there being something out there, yes, I think there might be something out there. Who knows? Again, I'm more towards the possibility of there being out there than not the possibility of there's nothing out there. We're the only things around. So that's what I believe.
Well, I think even
It could change in 5 years or next week. So, but that's just what I believe at this point right now.
because I think even Stephen Hawking, when he was alive, I think he said that yeah, there's definitely a possibility just because of the so many galaxies, so many like billions of galaxies. I mean, like even our solar system, Milky Way, has billions of stars that potentially have planets, orbiting it, and that's just our galaxy. Now there's billions of galaxies, billions or trillions, I don't even know, but whatever it is, it's so huge that it's almost inconceivable to even grasp that number. First of all,
it's hard to even explain it.
and secondly, like who the hell? Yeah, you're right. Who the hell knows? Just the probabilities itself. Like, there's definitely a chance that there is. So I don't discard the idea about aliens. Like, I completely am open-minded to the idea that there might be something else, whether it's like an intellectual being or just an organism still, just barely growing. So yeah, I mean, like in that sense, yes, I agree. Now, when it comes to like this guy, the claims, and other people too, I don't know, man. I'm not sure I'm not sure if I can believe them, but all right. So I watched this guy. Like I told you, a little bit of it. He seems genuine. He seems to believe it. He seems to, really think that there might be something, even though he doesn't claim for a fact like he has proof or anything.
Right.
But he seems genuine in the fact that there might be something, right? And okay, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt about it, but at the same time, I like to play the devil's advocate. Like, what other possibility is there to explain what he saw?
Right.
And again, I didn't see the whole documentary. I probably have to see it to have a better response to it. But just going like back to what you were mentioning earlier about just the government, how a lot of the times they do keep a lot of stuff from us. One of the things that kind of came to mind when I was watching that is like the whole Tesla, not the company Tesla, not the cars, not not Elon Musk's Tesla, but Nikola Tesla, who was an inventor, he was a contemporary with Thomas Edison. He was a smart, very smart guy, yet most of us hardly know anything about him.
Right.
Thomas Edison is the one who takes the credit for like the light bulb and a bunch of other stuff, right?
The thing about history is it's written by the winners.
Right. So like going back to that, like how is it that, because Albert Einstein, I think there's a quote where he says that he considered Nikola Tesla to be the smartest man in the world at the time. And that's Einstein saying that. So that says a lot. If it is in fact, like something he says, it's a lot, right? The thing, but yet we know very little about him. We know very little about like his inventions and what he was trying to do. Because again, we just hear about Thomas Edison. When you start to look into like what was going on with them, Yeah, they were rivals in a way. Thomas Edison was trying to disprove Tesla in many ways. I think he worked for him, or Tesla worked for Edison at one
Right.
point, but he was trying to disprove everything. And then, like, he was also J.P. Morgan comes into the place, and obviously, he's this huge, powerful, millionaire or billionaire. I don't know what he was
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
time.
he had a lot of money at the time. He had
So
more
he has
money than
power, and then at later on, I think Thomas Edison and J.P. Morgan go after Tesla to discredit
in
all of the stuff he's trying to
cahoots.
do. Right, and then when you start looking into like his technology, like his inventions, what he was trying to do, it was way ahead of his time. And like one of the things that kind of came to mind when I was watching this documentary, like, all right, I'll give this guy the benefit of the doubt that he does believe what he is saying. But at the same time, just because he believes it doesn't mean that he's correct. Maybe there was more to it. Maybe there's an explanation that proves or that shows that it wasn't aliens. It was just something else, like some higher technology that the government didn't want him to know, or anyone else, because he does talk about how everything was compartmentalized. So when that's the case, like people are not aware of what the other group is doing. So just to kind of keep the secret, in place without everyone really finding out what they're doing, even though they're there working for them, but they don't know exactly what the big picture of it all is, right? So my point is that Tesla was a fascinating guy, and I almost feel like he could have come up with some, or he, again, read up on Tesla, and there's some History Channel stuff on him too that's very interesting. So read up on him, and then you kind of see like what I'm trying to talk about, because he was also trying to come up with some technology, like let's say that what I've heard about him is true, that he was trying to create electricity, or for the whole world for free. And it's I'm not going to get into details because I can't even describe it myself. I'm not an engineer, or enough to simplify it. But I've looked into it, and it kind of makes sense, like what he was trying to do, right? So if that's the case, you're going to have Thomas Edison and J.P. Morgan trying to discredit him, because if he is able to prove what he's claiming, then that means that these guys are not going to make any more money on those investments.
Absolutely.
And we've seen that time and time again, of corporations or people that discredit others because it's for their benefit, right? So you discredit the ones who are going to put you down, or it's going to cut into your profits, or whatever it is, right? The government's done the same thing over and over as well. So my point is that what if they actually had some really high-end technology that we're not, like, no one's aware of it. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the thing. I think you're trying to, the point you're making is that we all know this. The government has always been ahead of its time. They usually say it's about 25 to 30 years ahead of whatever we have now. The internet is a great example of that. They had that, and this is on actual record. They have that. They've had that, and it didn't come out to the public until years later, right? So yeah, it's very much possible that the U.S. government is, for whatever reason, is developing certain technologies, or whatever it is, they've probably took other things from the many wars that we've been in that they're trying to replicate or make better or change, right? That's always a possibility. There's always alternative possibilities. Not to say that, I know he says that he saw a disc, and he saw it, he touched it, and he was told to keep his eyeballs forward and his hands to himself. So he's very convinced that something is out there that's completely different. Now, you raised the question is what's the purpose of it all? You know what I mean? Why is the government holding out against us, right? Well, clearly, it's a lot of different things, and profits are one of them. Obviously, people will suffer greatly for this, and it's not for the greater good in a weird way, which we can get into that whole topic for a different thing. But as far as this guy, Bob Lazar, very smart man, obviously. To him, it doesn't seem feasible. It doesn't seem possible that whatever technology he was working on could have possibly been of this world. So that's where he's coming from. He's coming from a science, a different, not really understanding, not that there's aliens out there. So he came up with the conclusion that, yeah, this is probably something external. Is that possible? Maybe. Is it possible that he sees something else and it's maybe not that? Maybe. We don't know.
And I kind of I understand what he's trying to say. Like, yeah, for like if we are not exposed to something that is way ahead of our times, like if we were to see it, it's gonna surprise us. It's gonna shock us. It's gonna be like, what the hell is this? Like, where did it come from? It's not from here. But the thing is that there has been time and time again where either governments or powerful people suppress certain things because if it gets out to the masses, there'll be some sort of revolt, or or at the very least, these powerful people will lose that power, or will lose their profits, or will lose whatever it is. So and we've seen that again many times over. So again, that's what I'm saying. That's sort of what I'm trying to get at. That I don't necessarily think that this guy's lying, because he seemed like he's a genuine guy.
And 30 years, his story hasn't really deviated, but yeah.
I'm just trying to see what other possibilities to, like, explanations to what he's saying. That's only what I'm trying to do, because again, like, I'm still open to the idea that there might be some other alien form out there.
Dude, but check this out. Why us? Why did they choose the third rock from the sun, and why the hell are they even interested in us at all? Is it the same? Like, is it the kind of the same thing? Like, we're interested in them, and they're interested in us.
Actually,
is it like, oh, you don't, they're like, it's like they're pointing their finger. It's like the Spider-Man meme, like, we're pointing at them, they're pointing at us. So
like, everything I'm saying is speculation, of course. But even Tesla claimed to have sent signals out into space through some invention that he created that was able to send signals out there. So what if Tesla called it? Okay, I'm a little fixated in Tesla just because it's amazing, like the mystery behind them. But at the same time, it can also explain a lot of things.
Well, you mentioned that when in the time of his death, look into it. I sound like one of these conspiracy. Look into it, bro. No, but really, look into it. When they came and got him, didn't he have like 80 different file cabinets of different inventions? And he had, I don't know how many patents he actually had, and all this different technology that he was working on. Now, it's totally possible that, he did maybe send some signals, or it's totally possible that he didn't. And maybe, he was working with the government. Maybe he was a rogue kind of guy. He just went rogue. Who knows? Who really knows? Because it's some mystery.
Yeah, there are theory or speculation that the government was spying on him just because of all the stuff he was trying to create. But then there's other speculation that maybe he was actually also working for the government, because that after he died in the 40s, like, one of the guys who came and pretended to be the manager of the hotel where he died.
I like this.
He actually, I forget his first name, but his last name was Trump.
Dun dun dun.
And it turns out it's actually Trump's uncle.
Our President Trump. Uncle, yeah.
Your President Trump.
My President Trump.
But I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, that doesn't really tell me much, other than it's kind of just, a coincidence or not. I don't know. And then what happens is that, it wasn't file cabinets, but chests of information, like papers that he was, all his patents and, whatever else he was working on. And then, like, that guy, Trump, he just quickly went over them and, like, just created a memo or whatever, a letter to the government, like, referring it to the government that there was nothing of use for the government, like whether military or else. Or
that's one side of the story. The other side of the story.
Let's say if he was working for the government, Tesla, then it also makes sense that Trump would also write that. So I don't know. I mean, like, there's both sides of the speculation. Who knows? I mean, it kind of points that it kind of seemed like he was working for the government.
No, absolutely.
But again, the whole point is that if they were to create some crazy ass technology, because even the Germans were creating, like, or trying to, like, back in World War II with Hitler and all that, they were also working on, like, space hovercraft, sort of weird looking alien stuff too. So again, whether it came from Tesla or from the Germans or anyone else, it only makes sense that they will try to, or aliens, they will try to suppress it from the public because if it is like some high-end technology, yeah, you don't want the masses to know until
Right.
they're ready for it or until the government's ready to show them, right?
Yeah.
So in the meantime, you're going to allow this guy, for example, to continue with his theories about aliens, assuming that they weren't aliens, right?
Yeah, of course. So this is the thing. Undoubtedly, as a society, we've come extremely fascinated with the thought, with the idea of there being something else out there, right? Now, mixed with a little bit of government suspicion, a little bit of government secrecy, it amplifies those thoughts. So now we've created this kind of scenario that there is something out there. There's those hardcore people who claim there's definitely aliens. You met a couple of those people who are dead set, and they're not dumb people at all by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, not all of them.
Not all of them, but some of them are a little kookier than others. But let's just say, so they've all these like I said, all these movies, everything. And what is the purpose of aliens though? There's so many different rabbit holes we can go into. Have they helped us in the past? Have they not? Are we really in communication with them? Are we not? Is it a rivalry that we have? Because I think they would just wipe us out. Or it's totally possible that we're just in a simulation and they're the ones controlling us, and they've given us little clues to just throw a wrench in the whole equation.
Well,
Anything is possible.
Get crazy now.
Listen, anything is possible. What I'm saying,
Even though it's not that crazy.
Yeah, it's not that crazy. What I'm saying is who knows? Who knows, man? But if I had to bet my bottom dollar on this, I would bet on the house, and there's definitely something out there.
I don't know, man. I'm open to the possibility, but of course,
I'm not. I'm gonna be bold and say it. There's aliens. Nah, I'm kidding. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, but
if there are, I don't think we've encountered them yet. That's what I think.
But so all these videos of like fighter jets seeing things that just rapidly get out the way or they move. I don't know. What do you think that is?
Look, going back to Tesla, not to get too fixated in that, but
Fanboy.
He also kind of had some creations at the time of electric cars. Now that was in the late 1800s. I don't know exactly when the whole electric car.
Unfortunately, the steam engine and
the
internal combustion engine.
But now imagine that an electric car over 100 years ago. It would seem crazy back then. And even now, again, corporations are still trying to suppress it because of the whole oil argument, right? But 100 years ago, an electric car would have seemed crazy. So now, like what you're talking about, if you see some spaceship-looking thing just kind of flying like that, what if that technology was already created and it just hasn't been exposed to us, so we don't know about it?
That's also a possibility.
I mean, like our conclusion is to jump that, attributed to aliens.
I think anything that we don't know of, we want to give it an explanation because we want to feel like we know.
Of course.
And then we say it's aliens.
That happens even like in regular life, or when you're in a relationship with someone, they always assume, or not even relationship, but just in interactions with people, they're always assuming things, even if it's completely like on the opposite of what they're saying.
Assume. So you make an ass out of you and me.
Yeah.
Ass.
Most of the time. Yeah, most of the time. Sometimes the assumptions are correct. In that
case, you're a witch. No, but in all honesty, who knows?
Without psychedelics.
Without yes, that's a whole different monster. But anyways, any of you guys out there planning to go be part of this 530,000 people, let me know how it is. Come back, hopefully safe, and let us know how it went. I mean, is it?
And if you do believe or not, leave a comment. Tell us what you think as well.
Do you guys think we're completely crazy, or we're just?
I'm not crazy. You're crazy. You're the one.
Do you guys think I'm completely crazy for believing that there could be possibly something out there? Anyone, drop a comment. Let us know. We like the interaction. It makes our days for a second. And click and subscribe.
Makes your day again.
It makes my day. Click and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Just let us know what's going on out there. But all you alien-loving freaks out there, we want to hear from you guys. Educate us. Yeah. Let us know. Give us some evidence. Let us know, where do we look up this stuff? How do we convince ourselves that there is aliens if you're convinced? And what convinced you about it? Come on. I want to know. I want to reach out to these people because I'm not fully convinced. I just I like to spice things up, and I like
You
to.
like to flirt with the idea.
I like flirting with ideas.
Of flirting with an alien female.
They might be loyal. so, so I'm with it.
They might be, yeah.
I might marry an alien. They might convince me because of the loyalties. Who knows? Who knows? Who hell knows? Who the fuck knows? And that note, like I said, click and subscribe, engage, and we'll till next time.
Till next time.